Live? Yes, we are. Good evening. This is Andre Sanders down here in Jacksonville, Florida, of Overcoming the Odds, in the middle of Hurricane Matthew, oh, by the way, and in front of Starbucks. Yes, you do whatever you do whatever you have to do when you got a dream big enough. You just basically say forget the excuses. But we're going to get right into it this evening as far as paid marketing, or basically paid traffic versus free organic traffic, or free marketing strategies. Which one's better? We're going to get cover all that too. So without any further ado, let's go introduce the rest of the panel. So let's go out to the UK real quick.
Hey everyone, Neil Anthony from the UK, currently 11 p.m. my time. I'm not actually experiencing the great weather that Andre is at the moment, but I don't think we actually get hurricanes ever in the UK, so we're quite fortunate. But we consider it a bit of a damp or a bit of bad weather, and pretty much it plays hell with everything, and we can't do anything. So we're not quite we're not quite as well. I'll actually say we're quite fortunate, to be honest. We don't get that bad. So, but no, we're tonight. So basically tonight. We're going to be going through some free traffic strategies, free traffic sources that you can use, but also some paid. And it's up to you whichever one you do, whichever one you've got more time on. If you've got more money available, well, not more money, but if you've got a bit of money available, you might want to use that. But if you've got no money, then we're going to go through some free strategies. But only thing you need to consider is, obviously with it free, it's just going to take more time. So it's up to you which one you value more. Do you value your time, or do you value your money? If you value your money, then obviously you're going to spend more time at it. But time is money at the same time. So obviously whichever one everyone do. So, but we'll go through that as we go through this webinar. So with that, I'm going to send it across to you, Patricia.
Okay, I have to unmute. I'm always muted. Hi guys, this is Patricia Henry here. And yes, as Neil brought out and Andre, we're going to be discussing paid traffic versus organic traffic or free traffic, and the strategies that we use to get traffic to our blogs, to our sites, to our businesses online. And as you know, when you have a brick and mortar store, you have traffic going up and down the street, and perhaps they see your sign that's flashing like a catchy neon sign, or they have you have something out front like a sandwich shop. You know how they have the menu out there, or they have something in the window to attract your eyes into their shop. But whether you do, and then of course you can do advertising, radio advertising, you could do newspaper advertising, whatever means it would take to get people into your physical store. But how do you do that online? There's thousands of millions of people online, but how do you get them just to see what you're doing? So we're going to discuss some of the ways that we do that. And Andre's out there sitting in his truck, and Hurricane Matthew is blowing by. So whether come rain or shine, you can even get traffic no matter what you're doing, even when you're asleep. How does that work? And how do you make that work for your online business?
All right, and there was something that Neil mentioned that is true. When I got done reading a book about a few weeks ago called The Circle of Profit from Anik Singhal. He's a top internet marketer here in pretty much in the home-based business profession, and he's mentioned this exactly again, like I just said, what Neil mentioned, as far as there are only two things that you're going to do. You're going to invest in when it comes to trying to get traffic. You're either going to invest time or you're going to invest money, either or. That's very true. This is somebody who's had several businesses too in the internet marketing niche, as far as going to different niches, and that's the main thing you got to keep in mind. Are you willing to invest time and are you willing to invest money? Over time, they're gonna really invest both. But if you might be somebody who is tight as far as money, then the simple way would obviously try to learn different ways. One thing that Tony Robbins likes to talk about is find somebody who's very successful and model their behavior. And especially in the home-based business profession, you can do that tremendously. It's really in any type of profession. You try to model somebody as far as behavior. What is it that they're doing? As far as what are the habits or rituals that they set themselves up? As far as trying to build themselves, a business or whatever happens. You see what I'm saying? I know for us, as far as when we get started online, there are really three things that you need as far as to really get going to, get the traffic too. For starters, you got to have Catch a Page, number one, and then number two is a blog. Number three is an autoresponder. Those are the three main things that you need, especially in the online world. Now, you're somebody like me who came from the offline home-based business world, it probably went over your head. I did not have anything. I didn't know anything as far as all that, as far as like, okay, what in the world are they talking about? And it's sad because in some companies, not saying all, that's what I'm saying, some, we look down upon people that were building a business online. Talking about, offline network marketing. It's a shame. And then sometimes it can go vice versa too. Online marketers might look down upon network marketing, offline network marketing companies. Not saying it's always the case, but some companies, unfortunately, they do so. It's really sad that it has to come that way. But if you want to leverage your time, we're in the information age. So let's be real. Going back to what we talk about, you're going to invest one or the other. You're going to invest your time, you're going to invest your money. Going back to what we said as far as investing some of your time, if you have those three things set up, would be the Catch a Page, the blog, and the autoresponder. Now you can start to try to build some type of traffic toward that. If you have a blog, it's even better because guess what? That's yours. That's your platform. That's not going to go anywhere. Going back to what I was talking about being a home-based business profession. Unfortunately, there are people that maybe are taught negative about the profession in general. So I remember looking at blog posts in my previous company I was a part of, a few years ago, from like 2008, 2009, and that's where they were, blog posts. But there were just people really talking bad about the company I was a part of. I probably found literally maybe in one hand how many positive posts people were talking about on that. But again, you're talking about when the company was basically shut down early 2013. You're talking about, again, like I said, 2008, 2009 blog posts. So you see, this is the time span, how long they can last on the internet. Now let's take it to something else too, as far as the blog platform. What about this thing called with videos? Obviously, YouTube's the second largest search engine in the planet. Number one being what? Google, and go figure, Google owns YouTube. I found that out from a top leader in the home-based business profession just the other day, Mike Hobbs. And same thing with videos. If you choose to, get yourself out there more so where people can really relate to you. I've seen videos that lasted since, I don't know, whenever YouTube got started. I don't know if it was 2007, 2008, I'm not too sure. But I've seen videos on there since 2008, 2009, 2010. We're in the year 2016 right now, but you're watching. You see what I'm saying? As far as, the possibilities out there, that's what we're really trying to get to, as far as, okay, what's possible when you have these things set up for you, so you can get the the traffic toward where we're trying to promote, whatever. It could be yourself, it could be a business, it could be even off a brick and mortar company that you have, maybe small business. Start leveraging these tools that we're sharing, because trust me, again, like we said, we're in the information age. We don't have to go into like what's happened over the years with companies that didn't want to go along with the flow, should we say? Blockbuster, Circuit City, just to name a few giant companies, But I mean, again, going back to what we're saying, as far as, take advantage of these tools if you want to leverage your time. And I'm not just talking about, again, like I said earlier, I'm not just talking about people in the home-based business profession. I'm talking about if you're the business owner in general, or maybe you're somebody who's thinking about maybe want to brand something, maybe a non-profit organization, or, maybe do something for a church community, or do something for your local community, whatever. Use these tools to go and leverage your time. So I just wanted to break down this pretty much the starters. I don't know if you guys want to go any further before we get into more depth about all this.
Yeah, there was something I just wanted to add, and you sort of brought up a good point when you were talking about Blockbuster. But the thing about Blockbuster, and Blockbuster is kind of like a lot of failed marketers online, and that is because Blockbuster simply went out of business because they refused to adapt to their surroundings. And that is pretty much all that it comes down to. Blockbuster is an offline business that primarily focused on renting films out. Now, as films turned into the digital age and everything started coming online, Blockbuster didn't adapt. They didn't adapt accordingly. They could have quite easily gone into the digital platform and they could have actually survived, but they didn't. They focused on renting out films, which inevitably, when everything went online, again, Blockbuster didn't adapt, and they didn't and they obviously they went under as a result. But the point I'm trying to make here is so many businesses, like what Andre just said, primarily focus on offline strategies. Now, I'm not saying offline doesn't work. You know, there are still plenty of places you go. Billboards are still have advertisements on them. Newspapers still have advertisements in them. But the fact is, how expensive is it to advertise on a billboard? How expensive is it to advertise in a newspaper? And it costs money. I mean, I've advertised in a newspaper myself. It cost me £400 just for a simple ad that was literally no more than an inch. So, and you know, considering how many other ads that there are in there, you need to do something to really, really stand out. It's not like you can shout from the rafters, because it's in a newspaper. You know, the difference between a newspaper and being online is, if you're online, you can do so much more than just simply, you know, paying someone to advertise. Yeah, all right, your reach isn't going to be as great, but depends on how you actually target your audience. You don't necessarily need the reach to be great, because not everyone's going to agree with what it is that you're actually selling in the first place. You're not looking to reach everyone, because not everyone is going to see the things the same. People are not going to agree on the same things, and people are not going to see the value in the same things. You're after the people that see the potential in whatever it is that you're doing. So if you focus on the key elements of what works and then focus on that, then that's where you're going to get the head start across everyone else. And the point I was trying to make here is, you need to be doing videos. That's the key point. You need to be doing videos if you really want to survive online. Over half of all internet traffic is generated through videos. And that's just a starting point. This is going to get bigger. Videos is going to get bigger, and in the next 2 to 3 years, even 4 at the very most, video is going to account for almost 4/5 of the entire internet. Over 80% of all online traffic will be generated through videos, which is why it's so important that you learn to keep up with the current trends. I mean, solo ads, you know, they're great, but it's same as what, you know, Google back in the day. Google back in the day was great, and everyone was making a lot of money, and they're having great success and everything like that. But same as everything goes in trends. And Google PPC is nowhere near as effective as it was back then. Yes, Google introduced updates and things changed, and the prices got more expensive. So it inevitably caused a lot of people to, you know, not be able to keep up. But video is still in its infancy. Video is absolutely huge nowadays, and you can get in really, really cheaply if you want to do paid ads. But even if you didn't, you can still get in for free. You can do one or the other. But either which way, you have no excuse. You need to be using videos. That is an absolute must. That is one, regardless of whether you're doing the paid or you're doing the free. It doesn't really matter. You can do both, but you need to be doing one or the other, because video is absolutely crucial, and there is no better way for you to relate to your audience, become across as an authority. And remember, one of the most powerful ways for you to get your audience's attention is through the power of you actually doing a video, because not only do they get to hear the tonality in your voice, they get to see the body language. They can literally see so much more than, you know, you could just write a little article, but that's not going to mean anything to you, because the kind of mindset that they're in, that where they are is not where you're coming from. And chances are that is why newspaper advertising doesn't really work for the small guy starting off. I mean, I'm not going to say it doesn't work. Again, there's plenty of ads in there, so I'm proven wrong straight from the off. But I've done it myself, and I got nothing, literally nothing. And, you know, it could be a lot of different reasons, but I say video works because there's so much more to the advertisement than just something simply people just reading a simple text. People can see your body language, they can hear your voice, they can feel the passion, they can hear the conviction, and that is more powerful than anything. It grabs people's attention and it draws people in. When you hear someone speaking so passionately about something, you can't help but feel connected. You can't help but feel like you want to take action, like you want to at least check out what's going off. And that's the kind of thing that only can happen through video. So that is, for me, the one reason why you need to be focusing on video. So again, you can do paid, you can do free, you can do either. I would encourage you to do both, but you don't. You can get started super cheap. You can get started for literally a couple of dollars a day, and you can get it super cheap. But that is something that will go eventually. Same as what happened with Google. That's why you need to get started now, because video marketing, although it's big, it's going to get a lot bigger. So it's completely up to you. You can ride the wave and enjoy it, or you can get left behind and well.
Well, another thing too, Neil had to add on as well is with video too, and we're not going to get into as far as really the mindset of it. But the thing is, he's right, because this is the thing. This is something that I know when I was a guest about a few weeks ago on somebody else's webinar, as far as talking about video. And something that Neil has mentioned times in past hangouts that we've had is that he's right down the road here in like literally 2 or 3 years, video is going to be real big. But this potential, as far as you put yourself out there, when you want to be a part of that, as far as how many billions of views it's going to get literally per month, per year, per week, per day, and you see what Facebook's trying to do, trying to catch up with YouTube, as of late with Facebook Live going here as of late last few months. But YouTube's been sitting here like, man, no, we've been in the game for like a decade. You see what I'm saying? So he's correct as far as trying to relate with yourself. Now the thing is too, with the blog, you can double dip, and it's something I like to do as well with videos. So if you have a blog platform, you can use something like use YouTube and put that video in the blog post. Boom, you can not kill 2 birds with 1 stone. So you can get people to see maybe possibly your channel, or again, like he just said, just to relate with you. Maybe you're just starting out, and something that I felt entrapped with, and I know Neil, we both talked about this before, as far as going crazy with part of paid marketing. You kind of wasting your money because going for solo ads, just like, oh, let me try this. It does work. I'm not saying it doesn't work. It does work, but I'm not going to guarantee you anything. You can see our income disclaimer below. Not going to guarantee you any type of results, because obviously results are going to be different for everybody. But the thing is, you have to know what you're doing. And personally, I did not know what I was doing at the time. I was just like, I'm going to spend my money like crazy, see what happens. Got the leads, looking great, but I didn't get as many sales as I thought. Blame the provider? No, they provide the provider. I was sitting there getting upset with my lack of education, as far as that, okay, there's a certain way to do so. Maybe if you are going to do the paying way, okay, set up maybe a small budget per month, and you don't go past that. You see what I'm saying? If you're going to do solo ads or Facebook PPC or YouTube PPC, I think maybe there's a Bing PPC, whatever you choose to. Don't go crazy with it. But if you're not too sure what you're doing, what he just mentioned, video is a great way too, on top of blogging, because now build your audience, give out value to your niche, whatever it is. Just keep on giving that value. Just keep on showing up, being consistent. Just be consistent. I heard this from a top marketer, David Wood, who mentioned, it's hard not to get some type of a breakthrough doing strong 90 days into something. Just really staying focused, laser focused, and just really working on your business. Eric Worre was, pretty much is real good with this as well, owner of Network Marketing Pro, as far as the 90-day game plan. As far as this, obviously he might come from the offline network marketing part, but it's the same thing as far as, you're just zoned in for 90 days straight. Nothing's really going to distract you. You just pretty much hit it hard. You're going to get some type of results, and obviously, so I come disclaimer below, but the thing is, you're going to get some type of results. Just really going strong for 90 days. Just really going full body, mind, and everything into it. So that's something to just keep in mind as well, as far as that. So let's say if you want to do a 90-day video challenge, just really get yourself out of this, get rid of over those limiting beliefs. Great. But still get yourself out there in that sense too, and then you're going to build some type of audience. You're going over time. Somebody's going to be kind of interested in what you're doing, what you're talking about. Let's say if Neil started doing a whole bunch of videos, guess what? He might be able to relate with somebody in his niche that I can't tap into. Not saying I'm trying to get into his niche market, or maybe Patricia does the same thing with her videos that that I can't tap into, or Neil can't tap into either. Not saying we're trying to, but guess that's just how it is as far as you relating with people who are going to follow with you. Yes, we like to get a hold of more people that are more like-minded with us. But guess what? There are even people that you would not even expect they're gonna be paying attention to what you're doing. You know, if you choose to shoot videos, if you choose to be consistent blogging, you choose to be just throwing out their value like crazy. You know, just continue to give out value like crazy. Just, you know, something that people can take away with. So that's something to really keep in mind as well too, as far as that. So you kind of see there really isn't like, you know, wrong or right way as far as the paid or free. You know, they're both good. Just educate yourself more and don't be afraid to make mistakes. You know, that's how you're gonna learn more. So that's how you're gonna continue to build more wisdom over time too. Just keep on learning from your mistakes, learn the lessons in them, and just keep much, you know, just keep on going through it. You got to be consistent with it, because if you're not consistent, you know, you're gonna just be all over the place. You're gonna get distracted, and then you're gonna be like, oh, forget this whole thing in general. Nah, that's not the right mentality. Like, how strong was your purpose or your dream or your goal to get started to make one type of strategy happen in the first place? So just keep that in mind as well. So I don't know if you guys have anything else to share real quick.
Well, I wanted to say something with, I've been using now for a couple of weeks, actually more than that, Facebook PPC, which if people don't know what that means, PPC is an acronym for paid per click, right? And I had been kind of leery of doing that. Well, I know I don't want to do solo ads at this point, because some people say that's a crapshoot. Well, anything pretty much is, because you don't really know what and who you're going to get as a lead. But you can be specific in targeting who the type of people that you want for your ad. And, you know, we're entrepreneurs, so we want to have other people who are entrepreneurs to come to our site. So you can target that. That's one thing that I really like about that. Whereas when you're just posting, blindly posting on Facebook, sometimes you're going to get a lot of entrepreneurs who are already in another business. You kind of want fresh meat, so to speak. You want people who want a business online. They've thought about having a business online, but they're not quite yet in an online business, or haven't really started an online business. So with Facebook advertising, you can advertise to those people specifically that you want, an age group. You know, you can target their income, you can target their likes, their interest, you know, you can do all of that. So I like that. And I had something else. Andre's back. I know I went out too for a second. I don't know if it's the hurricane that you're in and the internet, or if it is my internet again, because it was weird. When I went off, it said I wasn't authenticated. And I'm like, what? You know, that happened to us last week as well. But anyway, you know, I was talking about PPC, Facebook, pay per click. And I like that, again, because I can target people. And I had a few other things to say about that, because, you know, I'm looking at an article from Mashable.com, and it's talking about that very thing, hitting specific targets. So this particular man is talking about his company, and he's used Facebook marketing to directly target his users that we want. So that's key for me. Somebody that I want. We can. There's an ads install app that they use. So, and then also using Facebook paid ads with a Darwinian approach. So what does that mean? That we primarily use Facebook paid ads for ultra targeted user, again, you know, acquisition for our. What is this? They have a product that they want to target. That's our, my phone. Sorry about that, guys. This is live. So, my phone is always ringing here. Or something. Where was I? As a matter of fact, am I still here?
Facebook pay-per-click, Patricia.
Huh?
He was on about Facebook pay-per-click.
Yes. Okay, let me finish this. Anyways, approach that we experiment with hundreds if not thousands, of different images and copy.
I don't know about anybody else, Patricia, but I can't hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you either, Patricia.
You went quiet then. I can hear you now, but I couldn't hear you then. You just sort of dipped.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay, for whatever reason, I don't know why. It's my internet.
There you go. It's just happened again. It's something to do with your mic, I reckon. There we go. I can hear you again now.
Okay, every time I click off, I guess. Can you hear me now?
Yes, it is crackling a little bit, but
Okay.
I don't know. It might be this storm that you've got, possibly.
Yeah, possibly. Okay, 1, 2, 3. You can hear me now?
Yes.
Okay. So I was saying this particular company, they how they do it is they use thousands of images, and if they said hundreds, if not thousands, of different images, and add copy combinations, and a plethora of landing pages. So, we don't have to be stuck to just one thing. You have to try different things or split test your ads so that you can draw different people in or draw people in, because if you just stay with one thing, they'll say, oh, I've seen that before. You want to give some kind of interest to who you're trying to attract to you. Can you guys still hear me?
Yep.
Okay, and see me, because I'm not on the page. I'm reading from something else here. So that was one thing, and I had something else that was interesting from someone we all know, and it's called Kissmetrics. We know who Neil Patel is. He does a wonderful blog as well, but it's talking about 5 things you must do before jumping into paid internet advertising. You have to understand long tail keywords. Now, what those mean are, if you're looking for something, or if somebody is looking for something online, you don't want to just say how to groom your dog, which is okay, but you might want to say something longer, like that's more to the point of what that person is really looking for. Because how to groom your dog is very basic. Like, I know you could say how to groom your dog, and what would it be? How to groom your dog, get his nails done, his hair done, and get those little pink bows on his ears after, because I have a girl dog, right? So if you make it a little bit longer, maybe somebody is looking for that exact thing. Or maybe how to groom your dog and get your vet or the groomer to put a rhinestone collar on after the wash, whatever it is, but just make it longer that it will stand out so that people can click on that. And then you want to know the territory. Again, know who your target audience is. Who are you specifically targeting your ad to? That, again, that old phrase, if you're advertising to everybody, you're advertising to no one. So you have to be specific in targeting the person that you want, and have tracking ready. I know when I look at my PPC stats, I can even turn my stats off at a certain time, save my money, and turn it on again. Of course, if there's nothing going, it's per click that you get charged, but why not just turn it off altogether so you can schedule that? And you only know those stats if you have tracking and you're able to see what your ad results are from the advertising. And then to create a landing page. You've already talked about that, because if you want to capture the leads, you need a landing page, someplace where your customer can put in, or your client can put in their email, their information. Then let's see here, review your results regularly, because you're always going to need to tweak whatever it is. Either you are going to drop an ad or quit an ad or stop an ad rather, because it's not performing to what you expect, and switch it out with something else. Try a different strategy. set a budget or a plan for the long haul. And again, paid advertising, we're talking about that. You have to have a budget. It's interesting because right now the ad I'm running, it's very cheap. It's only $20 it was $20 for, I ran it for 3 days, which you divide 3 into 20, it was $6.66, $6.66 per day. But it came out that each person that was clicking was only 6 cents to acquire that particular acquisition. But the thing is, there's been people that have had things down to 0. And as we get the momentum going with our paid advertising, if somebody likes something on our page or whatever, and they start to share it, or they invite friends. I had somebody that they tagged a friend. So that's free advertising right there. I don't have to pay for that. That person will be on my page, and I didn't even do it. But the visitor went to my page and tagged one of their friends. So it starts to be organic. The paid traffic can be organic. And one thing about Facebook is when that happens, they start to read. There's an algorithm that they have, and they start to read what is getting targeted, who is targeting, is this working? And they'll start to open it up to more people that could see your ad free. So again, I'm loving it. I was so afraid to do it before. I thought, oh, this is going to be a waste of money. And trust me, there is that time when you're going to have an ad that you're going to say, nothing happened, no sales or whatever. But just like anything, it's all in the momentum of building your business. So you have to invest in yourself. It's your business. And if you want it to be successful, you have to take risks and you have to see what's going to happen. And for $20, how can you go wrong?
Well, just on top of that, I mean, this is hopefully a bit of an eye opener for people as well. And this is, you can either go the paid route or you can do the free route. Now, imagine how long it would take you to get that kind of data if you was going down the free route. It would take you literally months to get that kind of, the amount of clicks that Patricia's getting. That would take you months and hours of work to try and generate, which is why we always encourage you. We're not saying break the bank and just go nuts and saying what Andre says. Don't throw all your money at one place. I mean, I know I've been there before. You get so excited and just thinking, I'm going to do this, and you think, you throw a ton of money at it. You think that you're bound to make sales, and it's not going to work if you're not testing to see what actually works, which is why what Patricia's doing is absolutely spot on. You start small, because it's not about how much you spend. That's the key. It's about finding what works. Because imagine if you spent $20, even over 3, 4, 5, it could be over 20 days and spending $1 a day. Doesn't matter. If you learn what it is what works to get that lead and get that sale, then you can generate that again and again and again. You could then go out there and spend $1,000 a day. Obviously, I would never encourage you to jump from 20 to 1,000. You sort of scale it up gradually, so you go from 20 to 30 and 30 to 40 and so forth. But what you do is you gradually build over time. Now, each time comes and you're building your list, you're making more sales because you've already got that foundation in place. So we're not telling you to go nuts and go out there and spend hundreds or even thousands of dollars. Start small. Start $5 a day. Now that's $150 a month. To some people, that is a lot of money. So if you can't afford that, try something like $5 a week or something like that. Just get some information. Find out what is working. Find out what people are responding to. How many clicks are you getting? If you're getting any clicks, are you getting any leads? If you're getting leads, are you getting any sales? Because the question is, if you're not getting no clicks in the first place, the problem is with your ad. If you get the clicks but you don't get the lead, there's a problem with your squeeze page. And if you get the lead but you don't get the sale, then there's possibly a disconnect in regards to your sales message or the actual audience. There are a few steps to take. You take it step by step. Find out what works. Find out at the point in which it stopped working, and look to fix that. And then once you've got that fixed, test it again. And you just keep going and going and going. All you're looking to do is spend $5 or just a few dollars, or whatever you can afford. Remember, we're not asking you to break the bank. You just need to get that kind of information. You can only get that once you invest. So it's not a failure. It's just basically seeing what does and what doesn't work. So once you have that information, you will know for the future. If you go to any marketer who spent a lot of money online, they will be able to tell you based on experience what doesn't work, because they say, well, I've tried that, that doesn't work. I've tried that, that doesn't work. And they only know that doesn't work because they've been there, they've tried it, and they know it doesn't work. And you need to go through the same path, because you can't pass that information off to other people and help other people and teach them and become the authority that you want to be if you don't take that step in the first place. So remember, it's not about breaking the bank and trying to go out there and go nuts, because that is how you truly do get yourself into trouble. Just start off minimal, $5 a day. You can even start off at a couple of dollars a day. Just something to get started and get moving. Remember, Trisha's getting clicks for 6 cents. So even if you spend $2 a day, then you're still getting 33 clicks a day.
Mm-hmm.
So you're still getting some information. So you've still got something to get started. So just get some information. And remember, all you're looking to do is find out. So you're getting the click. Well, are you getting impressions and not getting no clicks? If you're not getting no clicks, that's a problem with your actual squeeze page. It's not connecting with the right audience. If you're getting the clicks but you're not getting the leads, then there's a problem with your squeeze page. You need to look at that. And if you're getting the leads but you're not getting the sales, then you need to look at what's after your thank you page or anything like that. Take it step by step, find out what works, and then ramp it up once you know what you've got in place is already working.
And it's interesting, Neil, too, because this particular ad that I'm running, it is, how could I reach, it reached so far 3,549 people reached. Now, that's not how many clicks I got. I've got less than that, but the percentage, but I've got on this page almost 500 likes, and it's only been running for 3 days. The ad was going to end in this morning about 6 o'clock, but I put a little bit more money into it. And it's running for now another 7 days. So for people who are brand new and don't know about Facebook that are going to watch this, Facebook only shows you, as we have said already, 6% of the people that are friends online. So with that said, Facebook, you have to pay them to open up the audience, not just to your friends, because we don't want friends and family. If they're interested, that's fine in our business, but they rarely are. We bug them enough, buy this, buy that. But we want new targeted people who want what we are selling. So when that happens, we're going to get a fresh lead of people that are going to be now in our little arsenal of fresh leads. We can email them, we can target them again. And another thing I forgot to mention with Facebook is the retargeting pixel that's on it. So once they've seen that ad, it's going to follow them around, until they click on it again or whatever. So that is what I like about this. I'm loving my Facebook PPC.
Yeah, another quick thing too, Patricia, you mentioned this earlier. It's the same thing. Keep in mind, same mentality when you marketing everybody, really marketing nobody. If you want to go the freeway, talking about what Neil was talking about, if you want to shoot videos or blog posts, I fell into that trap when I got started on both a few years ago. Until I decided, okay, what is it? My target market want? What is my target market? And then I just had to remember, as far as this is me personally, what I have problems with, because as an entrepreneur, you're a problem solver. So just keep that in mind too, as far as that. Now, the cool thing about this, there are different systems and different opportunities out there to shorten the learning curve, so you don't have to do what Neil mentioned earlier as far as setting up everything on your own, because I don't know how many hundreds or $1,000s you have to put in just to set up your own blog post, your own capture page, maybe get your own autoresponder set up. Heaven forbid if you had to ever set up an autoresponder on your own. There's so many of them out there, pretty much online. Now, obviously, you can see too, when you click the yes, let me in, we have a system where pretty much it's basically a shortcut. So your learning curve will be just that, be a shortcut as far as people in the home-based, top leaders in the home-based business profession, pretty much make their mistakes, and they're going to help you along the way to pretty much get to where we're trying to go. Not saying that you're not going to get not going to make your own mistakes in it, because you are going to, as far as learning. But the thing is, you have to worry about going through all that, setting up a blog post from WordPress on your own. You know, I've heard so many stories on that. It's ridiculous. You know, and if you want to go do your own research about that, go ahead. Want to make it simpler? Go and click the yes, let me in just to see what we're talking about, so that learning curve is short. Just give me an example as far as all that. So just to keep in mind as far as all that, as far as, you know, pretty much know exactly who you're going to go after and target, and don't just go after everything. Not saying that you couldn't bring value, but when you're really lasered in as far as, okay, this is my target market, let me start bringing in value daily like this. And yes, I did say that correctly, daily. You know, if you're really serious about it. You know, some people want to do maybe go weekly. It's no different. Some people want to start emailing their list maybe a couple times a week. Not going to get into that, but the point is, as far as as far as once you start seeing those type of results because you're consistent really with it, then over time that traffic is going to come. You know, and pretty much another thing too that I almost forgot to mention is with blog posts and videos, now you can start syndicating. What do you mean by syndicating? Start sharing them on other social media sites. You know, you got LinkedIn, you got Twitter, you got Google Plus. You know, we know about Facebook, Instagram. You can be kind of sneaky with some of the videos, or maybe if you want to, you got a one shot to put maybe a video on the top of that edit for your main profile. But the thing is, however you choose to do so, on the photos or images, whatever. Not saying you can't do videos, because you can do for like 30 seconds to a minute, but it's still the same rules apply as far as knowing who you want to target, as far as who you're trying to get after. So this one I wanted to mention here real quick, because I know my battery is getting real low. So that's how I had to share it real quick, though, you know, with the audience.
Well, you know, this is the thing. When it comes down to traffic, if you're using free traffic, you can use as many different platforms as you want. But the more platforms you use, the less, I'm going to say, the less consistent you're going to be. What I would encourage you to do is pick 2, I would say 3 platforms the absolute most. Focus on those. So if you're using video, same as what we've been telling you, that would actually, you could actually use video to cover YouTube and Facebook, which means you've then got just blogging. And your blogging you can share across multiple different platforms. But, you know, don't try to focus so much on trying to occupy every single one of the platforms, because they all have a tremendous amount of reach. And, you know, your message is not necessarily going to grab everyone's attention. So you could sit there and you could go onto a Facebook page that's all about network marketing, or it could be online marketing, or whatever it is you're doing. And you could think, yeah, if I throw this blog post up there, it's going to really grab some attention. But it might not get no engagement, because there's a few things about it. And what is that Facebook group about? Who's actually going to be occupying it? What kind of people are they? And most importantly, how consistent are you? You can't expect to show up in there, post once, and be done. You know, you need to be consistent, and consistency wins every single time. So what I would encourage you to do is, same as what we've been saying all along, video, absolutely key. Start shooting videos. You can shoot videos, put them up on YouTube, start getting some subscribers, and, you know, then they're raving fans. They're more likely to become your leads, and in turn, hopefully even customers. Obviously, we're not going to offer you no guarantees, as we've been saying all along. Can't offer you no guarantees when it comes to making money, but if you follow the consistent steps, it is inevitable that you will eventually make sales. Now, how many sales you make, that's what we can't guarantee you. You will make sales if you are consistent in what you do. Just a question of the difference between the little guy and the big guy. The big guy makes the more sales. So we can't offer you, you're going to make this big sales like the big guys. We're just saying that you will make sales, even if it's just one. But obviously, what you need to do is figure out how you've generated that lead. This is what the key is, and this is why the big guys are up there and the little guys are down there, because they understand how to engineer that sale again and again and again, and they can do it on a big scale. So what you need to do is start shooting videos and whatever else, and once you get to a point where, you know, you're getting the leads, figure out how it is, what it is that's generating the lead, because it's not just the video that's doing it. It's not the fact that you're shooting a video that's doing it. It's about what it is that you're saying within it. It could be the topic, it could be the message, it could be the call to action, it could be something you're saying that they're going to get from you. There could be a whole host of different things. You need to test absolutely everything, and just make sure that you understand what it is that's getting the action that you want. Once you've got that, you need to learn how to scale that, because that is ultimately, that's what the big players on the internet is doing. They're figuring out how to get these people interested, get them hooked, get them into their circle, and then take them through the cycle of the online marketing, and then getting them to the end line and ultimately getting them to make the sale. They understand how to engineer that, and they understand how to do it on a mass scale. But it is possible. You just need to learn how to start in one place. You can't go across every single platform. I mean, there are there's millions, well, I won't say millions, there are hundreds of different sites you can use. Absolutely loads. Social media is taking over. You need to focus on two, I'm going to say three at the absolute most. I'm going to say video, definitely one, and we've already been saying blogging as the other. So you've already got your three for me. Facebook, YouTube, blogging. Start focusing on those three. Make sure you're consistent with them. And I'm telling you now, if you stay consistent with them, you will not recognize where you are. You will not be able to look back in 90 days and think, you know what, I wouldn't imagine where I'd be now. Just stay consistent. It's amazing how much you can get done, how many leads you can generate, and where your business can go if you stay consistent. But that's what it comes down to, being consistent.
Yep.
Yeah, you have to build up that history. You have to build up that record of doing it, because if you don't get started in it, then you're going to be dead in the water. You're not going to have anybody to see your site. Like I said, especially online, it's hard. And for those people who have a brick and mortar store, like Andre mentioned, this is really for both people, because more and more people are taking their physical businesses online. I mean, the small mom and pop can't afford to have their shop anymore because nobody's coming. Maybe it's a little small place that they have. There's no parking, blah, blah, blah. There's no foot traffic. So how else are they going to do their business? You're taking your passion and you're putting it online, whatever it is you're selling, and you need traffic to your site. So whether you use the paid strategy, you use the free organic strategy, just do it, and do it on a consistent basis so that you can have those customers. It's funny because I worked at a store. It was a friend of mine's little store, and I still want him to do an online business. He's kind of reluctant to do it because he may have to pay shipping. He has a lot of gift items and things, but he could always ship them out. It's a little store, so there's only maybe 3 employees. But when I worked there, it was funny because I would have people come in, and all of a sudden we'd have some days where there would be no one, right? And then we had days where people would come in, or I'd be my off day, and I go in and I say, what happened to this, and that? Well, people, they had to come in, they were looky-loos. They had to see, how this would fit in their house, or they would take measurements because it was a home decor store for like Santa Fe decor. Because, like I said, we live here in the Southern California in the desert. So they would come back and they would buy out everything that they needed for their store. For their home. But it would be maybe a week or so before we wouldn't have any sales. But we had people coming in on a constant basis, looky-loos, and he did do promotions. He did like a little radio promotion where they had the local radio station come and do a day to promote his store. They had the DJ come out. That's a form of advertising, right? Or he would do a few ads on the television, and the little local station here, the radio station and the television station. And then we would actually literally have signs, where you're outside holding a sign for people to come in. And we got a lot of people in, looky-loos though. But we did have people that would come in and buy up the whole store for what they wanted. And I'm like, I was so busy. First it would be feast or famine. But with online marketing, you can even advertise, put it on autopilot. And Facebook, like I said, PPC, I'm definitely a fan of that now. While you're sleeping, you could have people looking at what you're doing. you know, and getting leads and sales. So just think about that. You can't do that when your store is closed if you have a brick and mortar store. But if you take it online, you may have orders sitting in your back office there for you, and you can ship them out. You'll be busy that day trying to ship out what you, the orders that you have. So whatever it is, whatever business you have, you can use paid advertising.
I'm not too sure if Andre's frozen there because I can't really see much movement from him. So I think he's struggling. But I know he did say that he's actually struggling right now. So obviously the weather's starting to get a little bit bad. So I don't know if you've got
the hurricane. We're almost at the top of the hour, so let's give him.
I mean, to be honest. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
All I was going to say is I don't know if you've got anything else left to say or anything like that. I'm just going to say if you've got nothing left to say, I know I haven't, and obviously I'm not too sure if Andre's still with us. So I was just going to say.
No, I think that's it. You know, people just have to realize that advertising, hey, that's how we get our customers. We have to advertise. That's the bottom line.
Well, I'll just close out saying this. You know, at the end of the day, you can stay where you are, or you can take action. And you've just got to look at it that if you try something and you lose a bit of money, don't see it as losing money. See it as it's an investment. Whether it works or whether it doesn't, it's still an investment. All it basically is just figuring out what works and ramping it up, and what doesn't work and then just killing it off. But remember, you can't possibly know what does work and what doesn't work until you're the other side. Hindsight is a beautiful thing, but it is something that you can only learn on the other side. You've just got to go through that. Remember, if you do it in a coordinated way and you just sit there and say, right, this is how much I can afford to spend on it. So if you can only afford $100 a month, we're not telling you to go out there and spend 200. You can only afford one. So if you can only afford £100, that's no problem. But that means you're literally paying it $3.30 a day.
Mm-hmm.
So if you did that, then you've got $3.30 a day to spend doing your ads. So that's what you spend, and then you just spend that every single day consistent. You've now got a consistent amount of leads coming through. And remember, same as what I said, figure out at what point you're actually getting the cutoff. So is it traffic to your website? Shouldn't be, but traffic to your website, leads coming from your website, or is it sales on in turn? Only thing I will say with sales, obviously we're not going to guarantee you anything when it comes to making sales, but don't think that just because you're getting loads and loads and loads of leads, you should ultimately be making loads and loads and loads of sales. The days of people buying on a whim have gone. You know, people still do buy on impulse, but it's not enough to build a sustainable business on. The key is in the follow-up. It's all about relationship now. You need to focus on what they want and give it to them before you go and get what you want. So make sure you just be a normal person, basically. Just go out there, see how you can serve them, give them what they want, and if you can ultimately bridge that over to what it is that you're selling, then you will make money. And obviously, we're not going to guarantee you the earth. I'm just going to say you will make money that way. I'm not going to tell you you're going to make thousands or millions and that. I'm just going to say you will make sales. It's a fact. You will make sales. I'm not going to say you're going to make loads, but you will make sales. Obviously, what you need to do is figure out how that sale came about and blow it up. And obviously, that's how the people who are the big gurus, they figured out how to do that. And that's the only thing that's separating them from you. But you can only do that if you get started. So I'm just going to leave it at that. And like I say, it's just up to you guys. You need to go out there, take action, get some information, and just run with it.
And what I wanted to say is too, Neil, that they could get with any one of us because we can show them how to do it. You know, Neil is over there in the UK, but you can find him on. You don't have your sign up there, Neil, and I don't know what mine either. It kind of like disappeared. Who knows?
Sometimes it doesn't let me even put it up, I'm afraid.
I know. I couldn't even get it on last time. I just put it back up. It's weird how I guess when I came on, I went off the last time. I forgot to put it back up. But yeah, Andre is having the hurricane there. I'm having, I don't know what kind of internet issues. It kicked me off again. Last week, I got kicked off, what, 2 or 3 times? But that's the internet for you. You just have to be persistent. It may not work for you the first time. I know I've been having a lot of problems with my computer. I even think I need to probably buy a new one because the screen has been, you know, mushrooming, or it's been going back and forth like this. When it first comes on, it turns like a ghost, you know. I mean, it turns all white, and I can't even get my arrow to work. It's been weird, and I've been posting links, and they've been not posting properly. Go back to test it, and it says 404. You know, something's wrong with this page. Page cannot be found. So anyway, but you know, when you have a team like us, Neil, myself, Andre, we have a few other people like Ian and Aaron. They're not here, but you can connect with any one of us, and we are here to help you. If it seems like a daunting task about what the heck we're talking about, free, or because I didn't even know what PPC was. What is that? You know, I thought it was some kind of a drug. You know, I don't do drugs, but what the heck is that? You know, but paid per click or free. How do you do it? Neil and I and Andre can show you how to do that.
Okay, well, I'm just going to close it out to that and just say, with that being said, guys, wish you the very best. Get started, get some data, and just run with it, and just basically find out what works.